Everything we know about sales is wrong.
We knew in the past. Now it's 2020,
We
and
learn.
this year we have learned a lot about selling. I guess
Mm.
I've learned a lot about selling, and from what you told me about you selling your courses and
Oh,
stuff like that.
really?
Like when you told me about when you sold your NFT and stuff. I guess you've learned a lot about sales as well, right?
Mm.
This year.
Mm. I did. Yeah, it's
So so I think it would be good to to discuss our learnings in this episode.
mhm.
But just one thing before we start, I guess these are we have to remember that these are learnings for today, like 25th May 2022, because 1 year from now we might have more learnings, 2 years from now even more, because uh, sales is a lifeblood of every business, and you get to learn this craft even
Yeah.
at the, let's say, the smallest scale. But if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be a good salesman. That's what
Agreed.
I believe, because I used to think that selling is about it's about it's about cheating, it's about
Mhm.
fooling people. And then and then I think it was Grant Cardone or someone like that who said that actually selling is about helping people.
Mm.
So actually, if your product is a good product and you know it, and that the fact that and you are 100% sure that you can deliver value to your prospects with your product, your service, then actually it's your obligation to sell it to them. It's your obligation to help them. so
Mm.
so yeah, like sales is about helping. I guess
Yeah.
I guess the false image about sales comes from you know pushy salespeople who were
Mm.
using very sketchy sales tactics
Mm.
to sell you some crap product and crap services.
Yeah.
And that's why we believe that selling is something bad. Also, I guess the Wolf of Wall Street, right? It was like the Jordan Belfort was amazing salesman. Of course, he used it in a wrong way in the past, but actually, right now he's very respected and renowned sales coach. So probably now selling became. mm, we are in the I would say we are in the middle of process of changing the way people look at sales at
Mm.
sales people as well.
Yeah. You're right. I think when I first started as well, when people talk about sales, I'm like, oh my God, selling people stuff, it's like you're just like a snake oil salesman or whatever, trying to sell people something. But similar to you, my learning is that sales is just like a mindset, right? And you talk about like sales about helping people, and then when I learn it, they say sales is service. Basically, it's that you're there to serve someone else with a need, etc. And also, I've heard them saying some of the coaches saying that sales is when the transformation actually starts. Without sales, if you don't make any sales, if you just do marketing, no one purchases it, but that also means nothing gets changed, nothing gets updated. So sales is the first step of that transformation actually taking place and actually happening. So that was when I realized, that's true. Like if I don't sell, then nothing is going to happen. So but then it's about finding the right way to frame how do you do sales, isn't it?
Like, people believe that they don't need the other thing to it is that people believe that they don't need sales because they are so convinced that their product or service is so good that people will be dying to buy it.
Yeah.
But actually,
No.
that's not the truth, because you might think that, oh, your product is so wonderful, it's so novel, it's so unusual, it's so unique. It's all bullshit. It's
Yeah.
it's it's you believe in it, but can you make other people believe in it?
Mm,
And actually
exactly.
make other people believe in the fact that your product is so good, so unique. That's
Mm,
selling, and
yeah.
you get to do it, right?
Yeah.
uh, I'm also want to add something to this bad imagery of salespeople. It's, to some extent, it's so bad that some companies uh, ditched the word sales when it comes to job titles in the company structure, right? So you
Mm.
don't have like salespeople, but you would rather find someone like business development consultant or something like that, right? Business
Yeah.
development associate, business development director, no sales director, business development director. So
Mm,
there is no person responsible for selling,
mm,
but there is person responsible for business development,
yeah.
person responsible for finding new ways to grow business. And the best
Yes.
way to grow business is actually selling your product and services.
I think sales just have that very bad connotation, negative connotation. Like people think of the word sales and then they are like, oh, this is so bad. And it's not that it's bad. Like everything that you buy, even it's a chair, uh, whatever, a phone or whatever, everything is sales. You know, like why would you buy this phone over that phone? Why would you buy this book over that book? Everything is sales. So whether you like it or not, it's everywhere, and you have to find a way to stand out in so that people can use your products, use the service to enable them to achieve something that they want to do. So yeah, I guess it's just a mindset. But speaking of this, is there something that you can think of specifically, like, oh yeah, you used to think that sales is this, and then you realize that, oh, actually the way that I've been doing it is maybe not right, and I've learned about why.
So I thought that cold calling is the worst possible way to get clients.
Mm,
And actually my conviction was that most of people are so fed up with salespeople cold calling them that they will be, that they will be rude to me when I call them. But
mm,
then actually I started making quite a lot of cold calls this year, and
mm,
it turned out that there was only like one guy, maybe two guys, I don't know. Like, but I remember one guy who was like extremely rude to me. He was not extremely rude to me straight away, like, oh, don't call me again, like, why are you calling me? He was rather rude because, like, I started trying to convince him about why my service is good for him, and
mm,
then he started, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I have tried it before. Like, it maybe works for other companies, but I have tried it for my own, and it doesn't work for me. So stop bullshitting me and stuff like that. So actually I wasn't. Uh, hmm, of course, I was a bit like, I felt it
mm.
at first, but then after some time, I was like, "What a nut job!" Right? So this guy, like, just lost his senses over, like,
Mm,
just some 26-year-old bloke calling him to talk about social media marketing, right? I'm
mm,
not selling him like a very expensive Hoover or like kitchen appliance that will
mm,
be useless. I'm selling. I wanted to sell him something that may grow his business, right? And he got
mm.
pissed about that. So actually, Probably I
Yeah.
made a mistake as some at some point during this
Yeah.
call that led to his reaction. But still, like, my learning was that actually cold calling is not bad at all. But at the
Mm,
same time, I have learned, because, like, I believe that if you overcome the fear of cold calling, you will start being successful with cold calling. Like, you
mm,
will start being like, okay, I got a presentation. We set up the presentation. We They like the presentation. They like the offer, and that's it. It's closed,
mm,
right? But it
mm.
doesn't work like that. Like,
Yeah.
this process is more complicated, and sometimes even getting a sales presentation, this process is more complicated. It doesn't. It will it will require from you to make sometimes several phone calls, cold
Mm,
calls,
mm,
then just like, sometimes it's like you're making one cold call, they are interested, you set up a sales presentation, that's good.
mm,
But very often, oh, I don't have time at this point. Okay,
mm,
I will call
mm.
you tomorrow. Oh, I
Yeah.
it's a bad moment for me again. Okay, I will call you tomorrow.
Mm,
uh, yeah, let's talk about it first in 2 days, and then we can set up a sales presentation.
mm.
And sometimes people don't show up to sales presentations. So yeah, it's very it's not easy. You have to definitely
Work hard.
uh, dedicate yourself to it.
Mm,
But at some point it will be rewarding for sure.
yeah. Just when you're talking, like two things that I think I learned is that I always think or thought that, oh yeah, you just need to work for that sales, and then once that transaction has happened, then like, yeah, good, happy days. But actually, the process of selling doesn't stop even after you have made the first sales or transaction. It's like you have to keep reminding the people who buy or bought your products and services that, oh, this is why you bought, this is why you buy, this is why you are here. You have to keep selling them why they have bought it and help them see the value of it, because the retention, the customer loyalty bit comes after you have made that first sale. So it was like, yeah, every time I teach them now to go, yeah, this is why we're all here together, this is why it's this is why it's that, like it always just like keep reminding them, like this is why you pay the money in the first place. So like that's the one thing that like I certainly have to learn, and I have to constantly do that. Second thing, which is I think a bigger learning for me, is just do sales your way and not someone else's way or someone else's formula or someone else's framework. You don't have to follow it like line by line. And I
No.
say that because I remember when I pitched the product or service to the group of people, because we know how courses are like, right? Everyone sells courses like, yeah, you can make this money, you can do that. They're like, oh yeah, they always do this like sales comparison, like, oh yeah, this thing is worth 999, this bonus is worth 799, this bonus is worth this one, and it adds up to $20,000. Today we'll give you an 80% discount. It's like so manipulative. And that's why when I pitch my service, I do um the same structure in
Mhm.
terms of value stacking, but I don't but it's only where I can assign tangible value next to it, I put it. So for example, like one of the things that I say is community learning. And then if you go to a typical sales environment, they will say community learning is super valuable. You cannot put it with money. You cannot measure it with money. It's like the best thing ever. It's like infinity. But that's so bullshit. So I just say to them like, yep, there is this community learning. I don't want to say that it's the most valuable thing ever because I don't know. But what I'll promise is that I'll do my best to make sure we all can learn from each other and share things, because I don't want to use those ways of manipulating to just inflate the value out of nowhere and show you that, oh, you're having a great investment in your amount. And I think people like it. It's like you just need to authentically sell things the way that you want them to. Like, for example, I don't like being sold that way when I've been learned in the past. So I just tell them to just say, this is what I do. And the typical sales pitch will say X, Y, and Z, but I don't want to do that. I just want to show you this is what I mean. And the reason I put this together to make sure that we all get value out of it. And that's it, really. And I think people really resonate with that message. And I didn't really quite follow to say you must say this at this point, you might do this, you must do this structure, this many slideshows. Like, yeah. They helped me put together a good sales presentation to help me understand how to pitch something from the storytelling to present the offer, etc. But throughout that, the message is my own. So I guess that's the biggest learning that I had.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Like I definitely agree with the thing you said about structure. I
Mm,
guess it's valuable to learn
it
about
is
other people's
framework. Yeah.
frameworks, methods, and stuff like that.
Mm,
But there
mm,
is always some work that you need to do on your own
exactly.
to make it work for you. Because
Exactly.
like that's actually that's actually what I don't like about all people who are selling courses, because
Exactly.
because they sell courses in a way that I'm selling you this course, pay $100, $500, $1,000, and I will teach you how you can, I don't know, get your 10 next clients, this, that, and they tell you that you have to follow, and if you want to, let's say, refund it, the
Mm,
course, and you will
mm,
go to this guy and say, you know what, like what you just said, like no, like I didn't manage to achieve it.
mm,
Because, and they will say, okay, did you follow my course step by step?
mm,
Will say no, because it's impossible to follow step by step,
mm,
particularly if you, for example, buy a course from a guy in the United States and you want to use the same method in, let's say, Poland. Way different culture. I'm learning it right now, very intensively, because one of my new clients is from the US, and
mm,
even from marketing side, I'm learning new things thanks
mm,
to this client. So I'm learning this new approach to marketing, to
mm,
the difference between American approach to marketing and European approach to marketing. It's way
mm,
different.
mm,
Uh, but going back to sales, interesting thing that I have learned recently, and it might be surprising for some. So you know what, when people are telling, when salespeople are suggesting that you should have a guarantee in your offer. So let's
mm,
say a guarantee of results or money back guarantee or something like that.
mm,
So I was always against it,
mm,
particularly when it comes to my services, because
mm,
like with my services, it's like my time I'm investing in,
mm,
and I can't, let's say, take it back. Because, for example, with a product, if you sell a product to someone, then you can take it back, okay, like after 30 days. That's how it works. You can resell it to someone else. But if you invest time in someone and they say, okay, that's it. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't like it. So I'm not paying for what you've done so far, and we just split.
mm,
That was always like scary too for me. But
mm,
last two sales presentation that I had, I offered money back guarantee,
mm,
and it looked like, I don't have a final word from those clients yet, but it looked like this guarantee made them feel more safe about the
Yeah,
transaction.
exactly. Yeah.
And the thing is that my guarantee is 14 days.
Same for
And
me.
and it's and I'm thinking like, okay, but the payments are monthly. So actually, because like, I believe that 1 month you are able to do quite a lot. And if someone after 1 month says that, okay, like I want my money back,
Mm,
then probably there is greater probability that you will get more people who will take advantage of you.
mm,
But when it comes to 14 days, actually you can do much in 14 days. You can give some sense of how things are, developing, let's say, how things are coming together. And
mm,
then people might say, okay, I like it what I'm seeing. Oh, I don't like it, and money back. So I think 14 days is like, in my case, it's like a safe time period for money back guarantee, because like I will not spend too much time
yeah.
in just 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And also, like, if there is someone who is really dishonest and
Mm,
just wants to take advantage of this 2 weeks money back guarantee, then this person, this company will not gain much from this 2 weeks. They can
mm,
they could gain quite a lot from 1 month, but from 2 weeks time, not really. So for me, it's rather like, okay, this is like uh, this is a time for you when you can pull back if you want. Like if you feel like I don't like where it's going, then pull back. Okay, we go separate ways.
yeah.
But if you like what we are doing, then we will continue, and you will pay for the whole month, right? So because
Mm,
the money back is only like after 14
14
days
days.
you can say, okay, that's
Mm,
it. If after 1 month, no, you have to pay.
yeah.
It's I guess it's good for both
Both
parties.
sides. Mm,
And I'm really looking forward to see um, how
the
much
feedback.
how much I can gain with this new approach. Of
Mm,
course, I'm I'm taking into consideration that there might be one in, let's say, I don't know, 10 or 20 clients who will,
mm.
after this 14 days, say,
Ask
okay,
for the money back.
I don't
Yeah.
like it, my money back, and
Mm,
we go separate ways. That's fine.
mm, mm,
But I believe that I will be more successful with selling my services by offering this guarantee.
mm,
and and I know from my own experience I don't have a problem with uh, with keeping my customers with me for a long time, because like even though I didn't give a money back guarantee earlier, I still was very flexible when it comes to contracts. I didn't hold anyone hostage, let's say.
mm,
So
mm.
so
Yeah. I did that as well when I was pitching my not course, because I don't really have a course, but like my service and teaching, etc. It's like same thing, but I gave them to say, yeah, I'll give you 14 days. And I say why for 14 days? Because I go, yeah, because what people do, and I remember I do it this way because I said, what course normally, what people sell you courses, they will say you have to buy it in X amount of days to get this discount. And I remember I did it very differently. I said, I'm going to tell you the price now, and then you have 2 weeks to think about it. And there and people, and interesting, I'm not sure if I told you this, but people actually send me a message to say, Zayne, when is the product ready? I'm ready to pay. I'm like, what? It's like, I don't know why, but I think because I was just so honest, I would just say, I don't want you to buy it and then regret it. I was just like, I want you to really think about it, to understand the value. And if we want to get on board together, then we do it together. and then people feel like they're being respected of their decision and purchase. And I think that's me going forward, is to go, if this is not for you, please don't buy it from me. If it's for you, then let's go. And yeah, I don't know about you, but did you go through a process where initially sales was a bit scary, but now actually you think sales is quite an interesting subject? Because I definitely feel like that. I was initially, sales was quite scary, but now I'm like, you know what, actually, when you can authentically sell something to people and people are happy with their purchase, it's actually a very good feeling.
Definitely, yeah. Uh, I'm really intrigued when it comes to selling,
Mm,
particularly when it comes to, uh, let's say, quick sales, because
mm,
like I have had quite a lot of situations when I got a feedback from a prospect that, oh, I something like, oh, I really like the offer,
mm,
but then they were like pretty indecisive, or at some point they were like, oh, you know what, we want to hold back for now.
mm,
But also I had situations when, actually two situations this year, when when prospects made a decision very quickly. So
mm,
I had this one situation when the guy made a decision just at the very end of actually two situations when people made a decision at the very end of the sales presentation. uh, and then I had a situation when the guy made a decision just one day after sales presentation. So
mm,
so I'm still trying to find a way how I can, make it repeatable for me to close it with, you know, sales presentation, and they say yes, or the next day. But it's
mm,
hard, because very often companies has multiple stakeholders, people who you giving sales presentation to. They cannot make decision on their own. So there are so many, let's say, caveats to sales. It's just complicated, let's be honest, right?
yeah, it is.
i
I should. Mm.
I just need more and more training in sales, and I guess I will become better and better in it.
Yeah, I should. If I know we're gonna finish soon, but I should tell you that apart from Grant Cardone, there is one guy that I listen to a lot, and then he taught me so much about sales actually. And this guy is called James Wedmore.
James Wedmore, okay.
Yeah, James Wedmore. He has a podcast called um the Mind Your Business podcast, I think. And it's really, really good. I really like his teaching style. I really like his approach to sales. He has a very similar way of doing it. It's like very authentic selling. He's like, he doesn't like to be manipulative. It's really good. I really, really enjoyed his content. So it's worth checking him
Okay,
out.
okay, I will definitely do.
Mm, mm.
Okay, so our friend Adit just gave us a comment on YouTube. Thank you.
Ah,
The custom is why we are here. If we take good care of them, they will give us good reason to come back. Jenny McKinsey, really good quote.
very
I
nice.
really the they yes, I really like this. I think it relates more to customer service itself, but I guess I can still see the connotation to sales process.
Yeah,
So
this is the
thank you
continue.
Adit, for that. Yeah,
Exactly,
we
this is
will
continue
finish
selling.
because like we took too long today than usual. But I guess it means that we will have to run one more sales episode
I
in
know.
couple of months, because it
This
looks
is a really
like
good one.
it's really good one. It's really interesting for us.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone who was watching us tonight. Thank you for attending. Thank you for listening. Also, thank you to everyone who is listening it later on YouTube, on our Facebook profiles, on Spotify. We really appreciate every one of us, every one of you, because like it gives us a reason to continue doing this podcast. You know,
And we need to get to the 100th episode for
yeah,
Gary Vee to come.
it's episode. It was episode 58
101.
in total. So yeah, it's been a long way, and I hope we will do many more episodes together.
Okay, let's end there.
Okay, cool. Have a great night, and speak to you next Wednesday. And we will hopefully have a guest for you next Wednesday.
Indeed. Goodbye.